Hey everybody, welcome to Remedius Boardgaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of Imhotep. I'm also going to be telling you a little bit about the game and how it works, as well as a few reasons why it's been on my wish list for the last couple of years. So, Imhotep was designed by Phil Walker Harding and released in 2016. A few of his other more notable games are Sushi Go, Cacao, and Baron Park. The illustration is done by Miguel Coimbra and the graphic design by Michaela Kienler. Sorry if I've mispronounced those names. Here's a couple of examples of other games they've also worked on before. The game was published by Cosmos. I think there are a few other companies who have also published the game, potentially in other languages, but as far as I know, Cosmos is sort of the main company who publishes it, at least in English. So, Imhotep is a competitive game for 2 to 4 players, and according to the box, it takes around about 40 minutes to play. And Cosmos has so kindly given us these game attributes at the back of the box, which suggests the game has a strategy rating of 4 out of 5, a luck rating of 2 out of 5, a block placement rating, which I guess means worker placement rating, of 5 out of 5, and an iconography rating of 5 out of 5 as well. Alright, let's open up the box and see what's inside. I don't have a knife with me, so I'm going to use my scissors. Let's see how this goes. Oh. Alright, that'll do. So here we've got a rulebook, got a bit of a game story down at the bottom left here, as well as a table of contents. Quite handy. I know a lot of rulebooks don't actually include one of those sometimes, so that's really nice to see. Let's just have a quick flip through this. I have actually read this rulebook before. I downloaded the PDF so I could, learn the rules before I actually bought the game. And from what I could tell, it is very easy to learn, very straightforward. All of these rules explanations, it doesn't faff about at all, really, It's to the point, concise, and as far as I can tell, there aren't any sort of difficult rules, that you'll be flipping back to the rulebook for when you're playing. Although, the way these scoreboards work is they kind of are like mini games, so it might take a while to sort of memorize how each of them work, as you learn to play the game. Okay, so we've got 2 punch boards and some hefty blocks. I like that. I really like the size of these blocks. I honestly wasn't expecting them to be this big. These are the playing boards, scoreboards, I guess you call them. I think this is the point track, and these are the boats where you're going to be placing your stones on, I guess, while you take actions. And I think these are just the player boards. You've got 4 different colors for 4 different players. As far as I know, the different colors don't really mean anything. It's just a way of differentiating between players. Very clear iconography from what I can see. Here's a picture of the market, the temple, obelisks. Some more boats down here. For some reason this says US, UK. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe it just means it's printed in English. And yes, everything is double-sided, so that's really cool. Except for this one. I guess that doesn't really matter. I think because it's the point tracker. Okay, so just put that aside for now. I've been looking forward to opening this up because I knew that these were, quite large cubes, and they really are awesome. They are nice to hold in your hand. Very easy to pick up and grab without really looking. I love that. That's so cool. I've never had a board game with cubes this big, so that's awesome. I love that. Alright, let's get this one out. Awesome. Yeah, really cool. There you go. So we've got white, black, grey, and a kind of brown colour. Maybe it's meant to be like clay colour. Not sure. Okay, We've also got a little deck of cards here. These are the action cards. I think there's a few different colors like green, blue, and purple. And depending what color it is, it'll have a different type of action. See the backs first. Okay, yep, we do have different backs. Okay, so we've got 2 decks of cards. Yep, these are the boat cards. They have this on the back of them. So what we're going to do is, depending on how many players you've got, indicated at the top there by the faces, you're going to shuffle up the deck of these boat cards and you'll be flipping them out, and that's how many boats are going to be used for that round in the game. And here these all have the same back. These are going to be the different colored cards. It's just, yep. So it looks like the purple cards give you sort of in-game scoring bonuses. We like that. Then you've got these red ones. They all say immediately on them, so I guess they are immediate actions that you do when you play them. And you've got these green ones. What does this say? At the end of the game, end of the game. These are all also at the end of the game, it appears. Okay. And these blue ones, I think these ones sort of alter what action you can sort of do. It says here, 1 times action, sail 1 ship to a site. Okay, so they're ships, not boats. Sorry about that. And decide for yourself the order in which to unload the stones. Okay, cool. So yeah, very nice. Now we'll comment on the quality of these cards. They aren't the greatest, just being completely honest with you. The edges do feel, you know, very cardboardy. I don't really know how else to explain it. If you have played Tagi before, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's essentially the same stock of card, has the same finish to them. With the cards in Tagi, they're not very easy to do, you know, this sort of shuffle style. I don't know what you call it. When you know, people at the casino, they like put the 2 halves and they, you know, that kind of thing. Not really easy to do that, but they do. Before I mix all these up, we'll do it this way. But they do shuffle nicely in this way. Yeah, I'll quickly show you. See if I can actually do it. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's just do it here. Okay, I mean it worked. It worked. Okay, it worked, but it wasn't. You know, it wasn't smooth. They're not like playing card finish or anything like that. They're not linen finish. They don't have soft edges. You know, they do the trick. You know, for what they are used for. Okay, just get rid of all this stuff. I might just quickly punch all these boards out so we can have a closer look at them. Oh, that one just fell out. Okay, another comment on these punch boards. You know, they do a good job. I do feel like, though, the places where they connect, like, you kind of have to be a little bit gentle. Like, I'm worried that they're going to tear off. I have had instances where that's happened to me before, particularly with my copy of Gloomhaven, which I think was the second release of it, you know, back in, when was this, 2020, sometime like that. Yeah, even on the second printing of the game, all of the tokens that I was punching out, I mean, majority of them got ripped, which, to be honest, I don't really care about, because I've bought a few games before and they've arrived, you know, with a dent or a scratch or whatever on the box, and I don't care enough in order to, you know, ask for, you know, a replacement or anything like that. The way I see it, you know, if you're going to be playing your game several times over several years and whatnot, you know, you expect a bit of wear and tear. So yeah, I just don't really mind, you know. It's not that it doesn't bug me, like, you know, if the box showed up and it was crushed, obviously I would complain about that, but, you know, just little things like, you know, little tears and rips and things, not too fast, but hey, I thought I'd put it out in case it's something you care about. Okay, so, closer look at this. I think this is the point scoring board. So it starts at 0 there, make your way around. Nothing here on the back, but we do have sort of the same image as what's here on the front of the box. See if I can line it up. Close enough. If you're not aware, all of these have an A side and a B side. So this is the A side, and I guess it goes like this. This is the B side. Yep. So basically, on their first game, I think they suggest that you play everything on the A side. But, as you get more accustomed to the game, more familiar with the way the game works, it is encouraged that you sort of mix and match different A and B sides, however you want to play. So yeah, that was the market. Here is the burial chamber on the A side. Let's just flip it over to the B side. Yeah, so I think obviously how it works is you've got sort of like a standard or maybe an easier mini game, I guess you call these things, on the A side, and then on the B side, let's see, maybe they actually are different. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was my understanding that you'd have something maybe a little bit more difficult or a little bit more complex to think about on the B side. I am looking forward to playing this game a lot and figuring out how these different little mini games work. And yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait. Oh, here we go. Pyramid. Yeah. One thing I'll point out about the art style on these tiles, which I quite like, they're all from, the perspective is all from like a higher, oh, is that upside down? The perspective is all from kind of like a higher vantage point, right? Higher vantage point, I guess you call it. I guess the idea is that you're sort of, looking down from up above from, the height of, a massive pyramid, which is pretty cool. It's a nice little touch. Temple. I like the look of this one. This is pretty cool. Seeing these people here raising this obelisk. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, I may as well quickly, show you how a game will look like when it's set up. So I'll just move everything out of the way. I think it's going to be a relatively simple game, but I'm looking forward to that because I've got all sorts of, I don't know, heavier, meatier, chunky games, and yeah, I like how simple this one is. One of my favorite games is Azul. I fell in love with that game the moment I started playing it. And I'm hoping Imhotep will offer a similar type of puzzle, like an abstracty, moving bits around the board type puzzle. I mean, I know it's completely different. This isn't drafting. This is not tile drafting. But in a way, there's a sense of opportunity drafting, if you will. Making the most of the opportunities that you have to load up your blocks on these ships, and deciding where these ships are going to sail to these different ports on the boards here for the possibility of scoring points. So okay, I'll stop yapping and I will set up this board area. So just go like that. These can go here, I guess. Just pretend that's like that. Sweet. So the game mechanics in this game, according to Board Game Geek, it has area majority influence. There's also in-game bonuses and a modular board, as you can see. There's a few other things like set collection and obviously worker placement or block placement, I think it was called, on the back of the box. But I also think, the game will have a few other elements to offer, such as opportunity management, which, is developed here, as well as opportunity control and influence, which is, when you, let's just see, when you, take control of this ship and perhaps place it somewhere which isn't so good, for the other player who had the majority on that ship at the time. It's also kind of an abstracty puzzle type situation going on here. Don't really know how else to explain it, but there, this little element of the filling up of blocks on these ships, and then the timing of, when to control, when to put forward, when to invest, when to control. It's sort of hard to, grasp at first. I think it's going to take a little bit of practice before anyone, truly becomes accustomed to this game. I mean, you might be a natural and you might just smash off with it, on your first go. Good for you. I like this thing because when I see the way this game works, I get excited because I like sort of learning how different game mechanics have different behaviors in the way people will choose to think and engage with that particular mechanic and element. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the abstracty investment, risk control side of this game works. I'm excited for it. Some of the other reasons that get me excited to play this game is that, I love competitive games. I like that this game sort of has a snatch and grab like feel to it, similar to Tagi, similar to the way that Tagi works, in the way that you're blocking or taking away opportunities from other players. I like things like that. My partner would strongly disagree with me, although truth be told, she too loves playing Tagi. I think sometimes more often than I do, because I don't know. She loves to block. She freaking loves it, which really makes me laugh, because every time I block her, even unintentionally, even without knowing, yeah, she really lets me have it. So yeah, I'm hopeful this will become one of the games we play regularly as well. And like I said before, the investment thing that you've got going on with these ships, that is really intriguing. Sailing off a ship of, full of somebody else's cubes, to try and, essentially screw them over, maybe. It might be a little too mean for some players, but I like games that have elements like that. I don't like gotcha elements, just because. Why I think this one is going to work is because there is a risk involved by, over investing into one ship. And potentially leaving it open for somebody else to sail away, towards their own project. Because some of these mini games, some of these boards, the placement of the cube really matters. You can utilize somebody else's cube in order to score more points for yourself. So yeah, there's a lot of thinking and timing involved, I think, with that. So I'm looking forward to that. Another part of this game I'm really looking forward to is the tactile element. I just love these. They are around about the same size as, your standard D6 die. They feel like that when you roll them too, which is great. I think a few of these mini games too, you build like a little pyramid type thing here, as indicated by that. And yeah, I just think this is a cool little, gimmick to the game. Yes, it is a gimmick, but the gimmick does fit well with the theme, and I like that, I never realized I was a theme guy. I mean, I never realized I cared much for theme until I played some other games where, the theme and the mechanics of the game don't really add up. For example, Wingspan. I love Wingspan. I love playing Wingspan with my partner. It's one of her favorite games. But yeah, my biggest complaint is that none of the mechanics actually matter in terms of the theme. You could slap on a coat of paint with any kind of theme that you want, and the mechanics in the game would still work and function the same way, which is not a complaint. It's not a criticism, it's just an observation. All that being said, that's why I like how this little gimmick of the theme works, because, we are essentially builders of Egypt, as the box says. I don't know. Oh, am I going to tip all those over? Yep, no, just grab the other one. We are Imhotep, builder of Egypt, So, what are we doing? We are building Egypt. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it there. That was my unboxing of Imhotep. I tried to be a little bit more concise, a little bit more straightforward this time. If you've seen my other video, to be fair, there's not many. I hope you like this one. Leave a comment, whatever. Let me know. Thumbs up. All that kind of good stuff. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Remedius Board Gaming. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.